Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. I am really excited about tonight's show. This weekend is also the weekend before New Year's, so this will be our last show of 2018, and we're going out with a bang. I just have to tell you that you're going to get the opportunity to see some of one of the best plays of 2018. That's as simple as that. I have with me tonight the writer of this play, the writer of most of the music, and also one of the characters in the play. So you're going to see and hear all about that during this show. I think that what we're going to do is cut to the first scene, and then we'll be back to talk to Mike Bailey.
Young lady of the proper class. He decides to become a businessman, a leading citizen. I'm talking about a captain of industry. I'm worried about you. Look, I'm going to tell you what I mean.
How do you know?
I'm worried for you, boy. My only son and heir. The world is such a measured place, uncaring and unfair. The world is so much less romantic. Excuse me if I seem pedantic.
Yes, you do.
Then you believe at tender years, and I have jaded with my fears. You must start to make your mark, and from me set yourself apart. So as through life you make your way, people step aside and say, he is a captain of industry. He bears the burden well. There goes a captain of industry. A new knight of the realm. Look, I'm going to show you something. This right here is the company's general ledger. It's a magical book because if you treat it right, money comes out.
Oh?
Look, right here. See if that you're in. Look, right here.
Aye.
See, this is right here.
I worry for you, Father, saddled with your name. The world is such a joyous place, raucous and untamed,
All controlled.
You were once the young romantic, before your dealings were so frantic, and you missed so much along the way.
Nothing gets by me.
The road you travel every day. Remember how it used to be when you walked the docks down by the sea and watched the tall ships in the bay.
I do enjoy that.
And you dreamed of places far away. Now you're a captain of industry. You bear the burden well.
Glad someone noticed.
You are a captain of industry, a new knight of the realm. All right, let me show you something. Now this is a magical elixir, and when you drink it, you get the strength of 10 men, and every woman becomes beautiful.
Don't tell me about whiskey. I own the distillery.
Then why don't you drink it sometime?
Once the world was shaped by kings, and the armies they could bring. But today men like you and I fight with balance sheets in coat and tie.
Me, I still have a little time.
About that much.
To or in the lap of willing lads.
Success requires sacrifice.
Again,
Calculation cold as ice.
and I may well take what you say, 'cause I know there may come a day I'll be a captain of industry. You'll bear the burden well. You'll be a captain of industry.
A new knight of the realm.
You'll be a captain of industry.
A new knight of the realm. Tell you what, you take them both.
Oh,
A little of this and a little of that. This helps you concentrate.
does anybody ever check your work?
No one checks your work. You own the business.
Oh, okay.
You see,
I like
that's
it
how
that
it
way.
works.
I'll try it.
But you start tonight.
All right. Welcome to Grandma's Attic,
Thank
Mike.
you.
It's so good to have you here. So tell us a little bit about the history of this play before we play some more cuts. Tell us a little bit about The Crossing.
Well, it's based on a true story.
Okay.
The story of my Scottish ancestors. It's a story that I was told by my pop, Al Morrison, about his father and his father, and how his ancestors arrived here in the United States from Scotland. It's a very long and complex story, and as I've researched it, I've found out it's even more complex than I told in the play.
Okay.
If I actually wrote the true story, we'd be here for
A couple
days
weeks.
and days,
Okay.
a couple of weeks, right? But the story is based in fact, and it's a heartbreaking story.
It is a heartbreaking story. I've
Right,
seen the play.
yes.
Tell us about the next scene that we're going to see.
The next scene is a scene where the son, Thomas Morrison, who was the younger lad in that scene,
Okay.
who was with his father George, is where the son Thomas Morrison, who falls in love with the family's maid, Violette, and he proposes to her in the garden of the mansion.
Nice.
So this is
This is
that.
the proposal scene.
This is the proposal scene. That's
Nice.
right. Yes.
Being ridiculous. You have business and wealth. I cannot even read. You have everything. I have nothing for you.
Do you remember that night in the kitchen with just you and me and a cold, lonely little potato?
It was a turnip.
Exactly. Now, I've never had a conversation that sharp with anyone. Most men around here wouldn't like that sort of freshness, but I was raised to appreciate a good give and take. Don't you dare insult me or yourself by telling me you've got nothing for me. Not very special.
You know nothing about me.
I know a little. I never had much enough to begin. Don't you?
I know a little. I know this. I know my heart is yours. Je sais un peu, je sais cela, je sais comment mon corps est à toi. Je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, ma belle fleur. Quand je t'ai vu, je savais tout perdre, ma vie complète. Lumière de mes jours, étoile de mes nuits, vous aimerez. Je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, ma belle fleur. When I first saw you, I knew that you would make my life complete. Light of my days, star of my nights, muse of my dreams. Je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, ma belle fleur. Je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, je t'aime toujours, ma belle fleur. Quand je t'ai vu, je sais cette. Je sais comment encore est à toi. I know a little, I know this, I know my life is yours.
There's one more thing I wanted to ask you. I don't quite know how to say this, so I'll just do it.
So they get married and
Yes.
live happily after.
Well, no, they in real life they didn't. they didn't live happily ever after. What happened is that the father did not approve of the marriage. He thought that they weren't of equal class. So
that old class thing.
that old class thing. So he had the marriage annulled, and he sent the girl away.
Oh my!
And it was that was the beginning
Of the tale.
of the tale. That's
So to
that's
speak.
true. So to speak.
So that brings us to the next
That
scene.
brings us to the next scene, which is where the father, George Morrison, has just told the maid, Violette, that she's being sent away back to her parents in France.
Oh my! And here we go.
And here we go.
But no. I will take my wages through the ends of the month, but no more. I do not sell deliverance or anything else. Throughout my life, I have always kept my dignity. True to my heart, trusting only in myself. No teacher's help, no path to guide me. I place my hopes upon no one else. No need to run, no need to hide. I'm more than that, I am more Bohem. I thought this place was a place where I could find myself. But now it seems I am left to start again. But I'll survive, I will move on. I'm not the one you should place the blame. Please don't deprive me of my honor. I'm more than that, I am more Bohem. There's more to me than what you see. I'm strong, strong within my soul. I'll find my way. I won't betray the love that I need to make me one. I thank you for your concern, Monsieur Morrison, but I can assure you I will be fine. I only require the amount I am owed. I am not a working girl, Monsieur Morrison. I am a girl who works. If I must leave, then I can leave. Although I know I'll never be the same. My heart will grieve, but you'll perceive I'm more than that. I am more Bohem.
So now I'm feeling like these two lovers have been separated. Tell me a little bit about how this plays out
Well,
and what will take us forward.
I will. First of all, I have to say that we were really blessed in the show to work with some fantastic young talent.
Absolutely.
That was Abby Cunningham, who was playing, and playing Thomas was
Braden Sunshine. We've had him
person
here
that you know.
several
You've had him
times.
here several times. Thomas returned. He was away for the weekend, and that's the time that his father picked to do the dirty deed.
Yep.
And when he returned to find that his wife was gone and that the marriage had been annulled, he told his father to bring her back.
Absolutely.
And, his father said, "Well, she's your wife. I've sent her back to her parents. She's your wife. You go get her." But they had married young, and they really didn't know each other. So he couldn't bring her back because he didn't know where she was from.
Ah.
So he said, "Well, you bring her back, or I'll leave here and you'll never see me again." And the father called his bluff, but he wasn't bluffing. So the son left. He walked out the door and he never returned.
Wow.
So our next scene is the son on a ship.
Ah. I remember this scene well.
Leaving Scotland, bound for America, and at the same time, Violette at the train station, leaving Edinburgh on the first leg of her journey
Nice.
as well.
All right. So here's that scene.
Alistair, sorry about the bump on the head there, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go back to my father and I need you to tell him that I'm going to go to America and I'm going to make a fortune twice as big as he'll ever make. You tell him one more thing for me. You tell him that he hasn't broken me. I'm going to come back and I'm going to find my wife. He hasn't broken me. I've been a sailor lost at sea, alone and drifting, cast away. Distant ships too far from me, and clouds are darker than I can say. I need a harbor, a place to call my own, where I can rest my weary soul. So won't you tell me that I've been brave? Despite the storms, I'm not broken. Where am I going? I've wrapped my heart in anchor chain and placed it deep within the hold. Toughened skin against the rain. I've turned my face to meet the cold. Oh, I need a harbor, a place place to call my own, where I can rest my weary soul. So won't you tell me that I've been brave, despite the storms, I'm not broken. I need a heartland, a place to call my own, where I can put the past to rest. Oh, so won't you tell me that I've been brave, despite the storms, I'm not broken. I've been a sailor lost at sea.
So, Mike, let's talk a little bit, real quick, about. We know that you're in the play, and Braden Sunshine, and Abby Cunningham. Is there any other people that we should know about?
Sure. There's Mike Johnson,
Okay.
who plays the Archbishop Ian Urquhart.
And he played it well,
Yeah,
I
he
might
did.
add.
We'll see him in a bit. There's Galen Donovan, who
Okay.
plays the grandson, who
Right.
we haven't introduced yet, but there's a bit of a surprise coming up in the story. And there's
John Lamar.
John Lamar, that's right.
local
John
favorite.
Lamar, a local favorite, who plays, he's sort of George Morrison's business associate, fixer, strong arm.
Strong, that's the word I was looking at.
Which is sort of odd because he doesn't look the part, but that's
The part he
but
plays,
that's the
he
part
plays
he
it well.
plays, right?
He played it
right,
well.
Right. He's
Yes,
not
he did.
supposed to, and that's the point of one of the songs he does. He doesn't. I don't look the part of a strong arm, but that's what makes me effective at it.
Right.
Yes, right. So yeah. So getting back to the story anyway. What happened is that the girl never does go back home because she is actually an orphan.
Okay.
So, and she is carrying Thomas's child.
Oh, wow.
So she, when she has the child, she returns to the mansion. Thomas is gone. She tells George, the grandfather, "This is your grandson."
Oh, wow.
And she is also ill at that point.
Oh, my.
So, and so
She's in a bit of a pickle, I might say.
in a bit of a pickle, yeah. So George takes her in, and at that point, of course, his attitude changes, you know. And through the next few months, their relationship really changes, you know. She
Often happens when grandchildren come to be.
It does. So this next song is, it's late at night, they've had a rough day, she's become increasingly ill, and it's apparent that she doesn't really have much longer
Okay.
to live. So this is a scene where he's up with his grandson at night. it's a song that I've had that I've gotten a strong relationship to. I have a tough time now doing this song and not
Getting emotional.
choking up when I do. So I get a little, I often get weak voiced at certain parts of this song, but it's called Sun and Air.
Sun and Air.
Right.
I should be here with you. It's my fault that he's not. Someday I'll tell you the story. Maybe he will because he'll be back. But until then, you've got me. And here you are, my deliverance. Was it God's hand that brought you to me? Now out of this madness I'm able to see this was meant to be. I was always a dreamer, and those dreams turned to visions. But I chose to forsake someone who was born in my care. Now the sun that I doted on is off wandering somewhere. He was driven away, and his love I betrayed, my sun and air. But now a new age is dawning for this family of mine. Whole new beginning and a new chance to shine. But God moves in mysterious ways. Maybe he heard my prayer, for I knew at first glance you were my second chance, my sun and air. There's an ocean between us, and the sun lingered there. He is seeking a new life in a new world somewhere. Oh, there, love. Oh, I know it hurts, but I've got just the thing for you. There you go. Just a touch on the gums. There you go. And a little bit for me too. There you go. Ha. See, it helps, doesn't it? You're a true Scotsman, you are. There. Now I look into your eyes and see hope for the future. The family of Morrison has indeed brought to bear a new procreation, and there's new hope to share. It's all down to you. You were born to come through, my sun and air. And it's all down to you. You were born to come through, my son and heir. Yeah, let's get you to bed, hey?
Nice. That's a very tender scene.
Yeah.
I watched you watching that and singing with
yeah.
it. Got a little emotional
Yeah,
there.
it's tough. It's a tough scene. Yeah.
So this is a story of your family history,
Yes.
which makes you very connected to it. What made you write it and turn it into a play?
Well, I had written a song called Crossing,
I
which is
remember
based
that.
on it, and it's 3 verses, each one told through by one of the generations.
Okay.
The grandfather, the father, and the son. We recorded it, the band that I'm in, Maggie's Guitar.
Maggie's Guitar.
Recorded it, and after we recorded it, Meg, who was in the band,
Of course.
asked me what the story was behind it, and I told it to her, and she said, "Wow, that's a great story. You ought to write you and Ron, my other bandmate,
Right.
and
Ron Glethrow.
co-writer, right? Ron she said, "Wow, you guys ought to write a musical." And we said, "Yeah, right. No, what a ridiculous idea. That's."
How long in coming
said.
between Crossings being written and the play coming to fruition was it? How much time was there in between?
It was about 3 years.
Wow. So you
So,
really put some
yeah,
time and,
yeah.
and some love and some heart into this play.
It was a significant undertaking. Yeah, it was.
But it was
quite-
an undertaking of the heart.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
What happens in the next scene?
So in the next scene, the grandfather realizes that he doesn't want his son being the result of an annulled marriage, which is not quite accurate. I mean, once a child has been born, conceived,
Right.
a marriage wouldn't have been annulled anyway. But
right.
for the construct of the play, I played a little loose with that. So he said, well, just the appearance of it.
Right.
So he meets with his old friend, the bishop, and says, "We have to fix this. I want all of that paperwork erased.
Absolutely.
I
Fix
want
it."
to fix it. I don't want this to have ever happened. Make all of that go away." So this is the scene where he coerces his friend, a friend from childhood, as he says.
Right.
Where he coerces his friend through various measures to fix that.
Fix it.
Right.
He can help us. Do you think, Ian, we should contact my friend?
Oh, God damn it, George.
Wait a minute. I think I see him now. He's standing right in front of me.
All right, George. All right. I'll see what there is that can be done. But this is quite a mess. But I suppose we have the grounds to restore this marriage. But you've got to understand, George, the church is both a religious institution and a democracy. Now, minor miracles can happen and paperwork goes missing now and then, but I suppose it's just a matter of perspective. Ever since the world began, with a woman and a man, there has always been a purpose to execute God's plan. So we've taken up the task for the questions you might ask, 'cause the church is in the business of religion.
Of the plans and mice and men, some things are delicate. Do you can? And I know that certain documents go missing now and then.
Oh, and I know just what you said. When you're in the family way, then the church is in the business of religion.
Praise Praise the Lord, who died to save our souls, delivering us from fire and brimstone, devils, burning coals. We must help to spread the word that the Lord of God is heard, 'cause the church is in the business of religion.
You see, Ian, I knew you were the man for the job. Shall we celebrate?
Hey,
Would you care for a wee dram?
I don't mind if I
Something
do.
to warm your bones on a cold day.
You're a true gentleman, George Morrison.
I thought that this was the good stuff.
Hey,
Scan the papers, search the shelves. God helps those who help themselves. And I know we'll find the things to serve the situation well.
all is friend in needs of love, with his guidance from above. Cause the church is in the business of religion. Praise the Lord, who died to save our souls, delivering us from fire and brimstone, devils, burning coals. We must help to spread the word that the Lord of God is heard, 'cause the church is in the business of religion.
That's a cute number.
Yeah, we needed a little bit of comic relief at that point in the show because there's so much heavy emotional stuff
Absolutely.
going on at that point. You need
So
something.
is our young son, the father of the grandson, gone out of the show? Or what's going on with him?
Well, at this point, he's in America,
He is.
making his way. He's done his best to eliminate any trail so his father can't find him.
Now, some of this
Right.
has some very pertinent to the area history.
Right.
Where in this area does some of this play out?
Well, a lot of this happened as I did the research. I found out that a lot of this happened right in the city that I live in now, Norwich.
Isn't that interesting?
It happened right in Norwich.
At the textile mill.
At the textile mill. Thomas Morrison started out as a spinner at a textile mill in Norwich. He later worked as a foreman at the carpet mill in Enfield, which later became the largest carpet mill in the country, or one of them, and by the time he was 60 years old, he retired. He was running that mill as well as a couple of other mills. When he retired, he was the equivalent of a millionaire.
Nice.
and he owned a mansion in Springfield, Massachusetts, just across the line. So he worked his way up he was a self-made man.
Absolutely.
In the United States.
That's a wonderful story.
Yeah.
Where does our next scene take us to?
So our next scene is basically where Violette has only a few hours left on this earth. George is full of regret for what he's done.
Absolutely.
She's full of regret for what she's done, although Lord knows what for.
Right.
But they're both, you know, apologizing to each other and both saying, no, don't apologize. You did the best you could. So,
Right.
And the song is called If I'd Only Known. Well, how many of us have said, well, if I'd
yeah.
only known, I would have done things differently.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should be sorry, lass. I mean, if I'd only known.
But you were right. I was just for the moment. He did forget about me.
I think...
Don't trouble yourself. I have made peace with all this. Now I have a family. I have a father and a son. If I'd only known, I do not think I would have done things differently. If I'd only known before this all began, if I'd known the man I thought I loved, always was the man who wore his heart upon his sleeve, and I was just this passing face to rise above.
If I'd only known the person that you are, if I'd seen beyond my own conceit, my eyes just could not see what only now seems oh so clear. A girl with dignity and grace, a love so sweet. Pride can be burden hard for us to bear. Sometimes comes before a fall when we can't find compromise.
Love alone can never save us from our
Wow. So that's kind of the way that life turns out a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So before we talk about the next scene, let's tell our viewers where they can find this.
Sure.
This is the play here, Crossings, and you can find it.
Well, we have a website now.
A
which is-
website,
right.
nice.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's crossingamusicaljourney.com.
Okay.
And there we have some clips from the show, as well as a blog that is always expanding as I discover more about the actual story behind it.
Okay.
Which tells the true story with a lot of pictures and copies of the documents and things like that. So
That's Crossing a Musical Story.
a musical journey.
A musical journey.
Right.
.com.
That's correct. crossingamusicaljourney.com.
Nice.
Yep.
So you can people get a copy of this play on that
They can
site?
contact us through the site, right? Yes, they can.
That's awesome and wonderful. So we're going into the last scene that we
Right.
have to show here.
Right.
What is that scene
Well,
about?
what we do is we jump ahead in the story about 17 years, and at this point, the grandson, Thomas Jr., is 17 years old, and he finds out the true story that his father is alive and in America, and he decides that he has to go find him. And,
Nice.
and I guess we'll come back after the scene and we'll tell how that turns out, but he decides he has to go find him. And so he sings this song.
There cannot be that many Scotsmen in America.
Certainly no more than there are in Scotland.
You know I have to go to America.
Tom, I knew before I told you. From here to here. It's not that far anymore.
Who knows where journeys might end? Who knows what fate has in store? A wayfaring soul, a stranger with no aim or plan. I know I'll be traveling far to places I've not seen before, but maybe I'll win, and maybe I'll find who I am. Do you understand?
Of course I understand.
Finding my destiny, finding my place in the world, and just what in the world is for me. Finding my destiny, a spirit alive, I'll survive and contrive to be open and free.
I've got something for you. This, it's a letter that your mother gave to me to give to your father. Looks like you're going to have to give it to him now, when you find him. All right?
That's right. That's right.
I know you will.
Well, the man that I seek is my blood, is the reason that drives me on. And he don't even know I exist, but I know he's a part of me. All I know is that he is my father. Come what may, I just hope he sees me as I am.
All right. Now you've got to get to Glasgow.
Lady whose soul I came from is urging me Finding my place in the world and just what in the world is for me. Finding my destiny. Her spirit's alive, it survives and is driving my soul to be free. Finding my destiny. Finding my place in the world and just what in this world is for me. Finding my destiny. A spirit alive, I'll survive and contrive to be open and free.
So, how does it end?
Well, I guess people will have to go to the website to find out.
And that website is?
www.crossingamusicaljourney.com.
And that is wonderful. Mike, thank you so much for bringing your play and your story to Grandma's Attic Music Review.
Well, thank you for having me,
It's
Doc.
been wonderful. I thank you so much for that. And for all of you out there, this is the last show of 2018. I hope that you have a very, very happy and safe new year. Until next week, everybody, God bless and have a really great week. Bye-bye.
I guess they're not going to run the...
Yeah, they are.